Hey, it's Soul, with some add-ons to suggest for patch 8.3. If you're new, consider subscribing for more of this and all things Warcraft. If you find this video useful, please hit that like button, or hit the dislike button if it's total garbo. Today's slew of add-ons includes some that I haven't used before now, and that's probably going to make you think, wow, how did he get by without using this add-on? What kind of idiot is he? But first, let's really quickly go over some of the add-ons that I use personally, that you should probably have by now, that will specifically help you in this final patch of BFA. I've mentioned these in previous videos. This is kind of a rerun, so I'm just going to do a quick pass. New Openables is a great add-on to remind you that you have gear tokens on your person, similar to Benthic and other gear tokens from the past. AZERITE tooltip helps to easily identify the traits that you've chosen on a certain piece of gear. Major traits are on the gear icon itself, and the tooltip displays the rest. BLIZZMOVE lets you move around almost any of the windows like so. It doesn't save their position, but it's great to have the freedom of movement. Bonus Roll Preview lets you change loot spec and preview boss loot tables from the loot window. BUYEMALL lets you buy as little or as much of an item as you need. It's super awesome and useful for crafters who make stuff in bulk. Dominoes is my bar add-on of choice. Pitbull unit frames are what you see for my, unit frames. Easy Scrap lets me automatically assign junk to be scrapped. MINIMAPBUTTONBAG takes all the buttons that clutter my minimap and it throws it into an expandable folder. Nameplate scrolling combat text makes damage numbers pop from enemy nameplates, and you can customize other visuals too. Paragon Reputation makes looking at your reputation past Exalted easier to see. RARESCANNER is currently my favorite add-on for tracking and alerting me to rares and treasure things. REMATCH lets you program and automate pet loadouts and abilities for some easy pet battle farming. TIPTAC is what I use to place my tooltip wherever I please, and TRANSMOG Roulette brings anarchy to fashion, all in the push of a button. So let's get to some of these newer add-ons that have come from suggestions and stuff that I've just found on the internet. HEKILI, I really don't know how to pronounce it, I apologize, but it's one of those add-ons that tells you how to do your rotation. I've featured add-ons like this before, and personally it's not the kind of thing that I think you should ever feel dependent on for too long, but this particular rotation optimizer is just really easy to set up and get started with. It does a really good job of staying up to date, and for those of you who might have leveled a bunch of alts with a holiday event like me, using a training wheel like this is bound to be helpful. Rare hunting is back in a big way in patch 8.3, and many of these rares have millions of life as a base value, meaning that you have more time to catch up for a tag before they're killed. SILVERDRAGON is a pretty decent add-on for rare tracking and notification. Truth be told though, I'm still a bigger fan of Rare Tracker. It's an add-on that I suggested for 8.2 farming, and I just mentioned it earlier in the video. Both of these add-ons work great, it's just that Rare Tracker notifies me if there are also treasures to be found. But SILVERDRAGON has other useful features like a pull-down menu that displays all the rares in a given zone, and a sleeker looking notification. QUESTPLATES very simply places a marker on nameplates, just on the side over there, to identify targets that are part of an immediate quest objective. From regular quests to world quest, hostile or friendly targets, all of these are automatically marked. For quests that require a number of mobs killed, for example, it'll also display the number of mobs remaining left to defeat. This is definitely one of those add-ons that I wish I knew about 50 years ago. Maybe I'm getting old, but I've been finding it a little bit aggravating to rely on the tooltip to display objectives, and this is a nice, clean way to maintain visibility. This add-on is very lightweight, as in there's not much of a GUI, so you're going to want to check out the add-on's website for how these slash commands work. Can I Mog It expands on the built-in tooltip that tells you whether you collected an appearance from a piece of gear. Normally, you're just told if you learned this appearance on your current character. This add-on will tell you if you learn this appearance anywhere on your account, regardless of armor or weapon proficiency. To properly use it, you'll need to log on to each of your characters with the add-on activated, so it can remember what you have and have not learned. Going forward, you now know if that Bind and Equip green that you got from an island adventure will be something you can pass off to an alt or to throw up on the auction house. This add-on is really effective, but its weakness lies in the fact that it relies on local files, meaning that if you regularly play across multiple computers, you might see false positives or negatives, so keep an eye on that or sync your add-on settings across your devices. Improved Loot Frame just takes the loot window and expands it, so that all loot is visible on a single page. It's no biggie, but it's sort of nice when doing a TRANSMOG binge. It lets you more easily pick and choose the stuff that you want to pick up or leave behind. Capping BG timers might not be an add-on that you care for now that Korok's Revenge is wrapping up, but it's nice to know this kind of information and other things while you're in Battlegrounds. I don't know why I never bothered with an add-on like this. It's probably because I don't take PvP too seriously, but strategically, it's smart to have add-ons like this handy, so you don't leave a flag unguarded prematurely. Nameplate cooldowns is more useful for arena players who are really on top of class abilities and their icons, so it's not really for me. I'm pretty sure there are other add-ons that track the cooldown usage of opponents and puts it on a separate window for constant visibility. For someone who wouldn't mind seeing that on enemy nameplates though, well, here you go. If you haven't already thought so, featuring GTFO is bound to make you wonder why I never mentioned this add-on. It's a simple but very effective add-on to let you know when you're doing something wrong. This is the kind of add-on for the person who doesn't want the robustness of deadly boss mods or other similar tracking add-ons. Just install it and configure the sounds to your liking, then just make sure you GTFO. COOLLINE is a personal cooldown tracker that's all compressed into a single cool line. Brilliant. It's simple, fairly clean, and it's customizable enough to not be super intrusive. For me, I can configure the icons to be a little bit bigger, and for the line to fully disappear when nothing I have is currently on cooldown. It's not a bad add-on for the type of person who wants notifications in a single space without having to set up an exhaustive weak aura. AZERITELES will stop this annoying little pop-up from appearing on your bars. Of everything that I'm featuring here, this add-on is arguably the one that is most likely to lose its usefulness shortly into the patch, because you're going to collect a number of essences across all of your specs. I've seen plenty of demand for something like this though, so here you go. Fade Objective Tracker makes a delicious sandwich. No, it fades your objective tracker right there on the side whenever you're in a boss encounter. There are some drawbacks to this add-on though, because it'll also hide achievement tracking, so in this case the add-on might not be the best idea for you. It also might not be a good idea to configure it to always hide the tracker during any kind of combat, because you might need to use an item to complete a quest, and having the button located on the default quest UI is very useful. So maybe this add-on wasn't really thought through well, but clearly the author thought that it would be useful, so I'm sure some of you might feel the same way. Since this mod exists, I can now admit that I'm one of those people who move the camera around so much that they lose where their mouse cursor was. CURSORMOD leaves an image of where your mouse cursor is while you're dragging it around, so that way you don't lose it. You can configure the size and opacity so if you want a big red hand taking up a chunk of the screen, well, at least you didn't lose your cursor. Finally, Cosplay adds 2 extra buttons to your dressing room UI. The Undress button will strip you down. This is so you can properly view items that are otherwise hard to see, like pants and shirts and bracers? Sure, yeah, I guess, bracers. The other button lets you display someone else's character's transmog. You just select their character and then click. Unfortunately, it doesn't identify what said transmog is, but you can press the Undress button too and look at them mostly unclothed, you freaking pervert. That wraps it up, and as always, here's the moment where you can say in the comments that everyone should just install ElvUI and Leatrix Plus and take it home. Just kidding. But this is the moment where you can suggest your favorite add-ons that you think would be extremely useful for patch 8.3 or the World of Warcraft in general. Links to every add-on are in the description above, and while you're up there, hey, please like the video, because that helps out the channel super tons. Consider becoming a patron to support the channel, subscribe for more of this, and we'll see you later. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.